Right, I was thinking of doing a live review of interesting YouTube channel tonight, but with a bit of music on it. Kids, there's a bit of talented kids singing on it, but I will do. I will get around to it sometime this week. I thought of another videos on the discussions playlist. Uh, um, what ideas has anyone got for the future of Doctor Who? Has anybody got any suggestions that they could perhaps send to the BBC? I've got a few I can think of. I think for one thing, during the entire 60-year history of the series, there's only been two companions in the TARDIS with the Doc. Well, only one really, because she regenerated, so it was the same person. There's only been one companion in the TARDIS with the Doctor who was of his race. She was a Time Lady. She wasn't a Time Lord, she was a Time Lady, but she was of the same race, the same species as him. And her name was Romana. Well, maybe in the future there could be other members. I don't know about that, actually. I could be wrong about that, but that is a suggestion for one possible suggestion for the future. That there could be more companions in the TARDIS who are members of the Doctor's own species. Another thing that could be a suggestion is that the TARDIS's chameleon circuit could become functional again. I think that it's one area of Doctor Who it's extremely boring. That in almost every episode, even though there's a chameleon circuit inside the TARDIS, which if it was repaired would change the appearance of the TARDIS to blend in with the surroundings where it materialised. Throughout almost every episode, the chameleon circuit has needed repairing, so it's unfortunately retained the appearance of a police box, which is what it materialised as in 1963 London. It materialised as a police box, and throughout almost every episode throughout the series, the chameleon circuit has not worked. So it nearly always remained as a police box. I think there was one story during the Colin Baker era where he did manage to get the chameleon circuit functional again, so that the TARDIS did change its appearance. But I'd like to see more of the TARDIS altering its appearance in future episodes. What other? One hideous monster from the Doctor's past who's to my knowledge only ever appeared in one story, The City of Death in 1979, is the Jaggeroth. I would love to see the Jaggeroth brought back. I would love to see the Scaroth Scaroth was the last of the Jaggeroth, and he appeared in the 1979 four-part story. I think was it 4 parts? Was it City of Death? I'd love to see another story with one of the Jaggeroth in it. These Jaggeroths, they've only got one eye and green skin. You think with a name like Jaggeroth, they'd have a massive mouth with big lips, but they haven't. They've just got this horrible-looking head with green skin, with one eye and green skin. But I would love to see the Jaggeroth brought back. What other things would I like to see in Doctor Who? I think there's only ever been one story in the whole series where the TARDIS has had to be taken out of reality as an emergency measure, and that was in a story called the Mind Robber during the Hartnell era in the late 60s, 1966 to 1969 was the Hartnell era. And there was one story during the Hartnell era called the Mind Robber, where the TARDIS had to be removed from reality, had to be taken out of reality as an emergency measure because it was being surrounded by lava. And the TARDIS and everyone inside it could have ended up being burnt to a frazzle because of all this lava that was accumulating around it. But Patrick Troughton, what was that character that was played by Fraser Hines? That Scottish one, that one that wore a kilt. I can't remember what the character that was played by Fraser Hines, some of you will know what I'm talking about. He recommended taking an emergency measure, but the Doctor was very reluctant to do that because it would mean taking the TARDIS out of reality, and he didn't know what would happen. But it was just the lesser of two evils. That's all. But maybe in the future they could do another episode where the TARDIS gets taken out of reality again as an emergency measure, and we'll see if something different happens from before. And throughout the whole series, the series has been the series is called Doctor Who because we don't know, because it's never revealed what the Doctor's real name is. He's had a couple of aliases while during his time he spent on Earth. He called himself Dr. Foreman at first, but the people who got transported through time in his TARDIS, they very quickly realised that that wasn't his real name. It was just an alias he was using while he was on Earth. And also, after you got exiled to Earth in the 20th century, by the Time Lords as a disciplinary measure for the crimes that he committed, he called himself John Smith, but that wasn't his real name. His name wasn't Dr. Foreman or John Smith. Those were just aliases that he used. And maybe a future point, if the series is finished for the time being, but it could be going through a hiatus. I don't know when it's going to be brought back. To be honest, it's not up to me because I've nothing to do with it. I'm just a fan. But maybe we could find out for once and for all what the Doctor's real name is. There's all sorts of the thing is about science fiction that it can delve into the impossible. I mean, the fact there's a spaceship capable of travelling through time, and is bigger on the inside than on the outside. Those two things in themselves are not feasible because no one's discovered how to travel through time or make sort of an appearance if it's bigger on the inside than on the outside. Those are things we don't know how to do. So there could be also if a series is being brought back in the future, which I'm not sure it is. Well, there could be all sorts of weird and wonderful things going on, couldn't there? So this is not just, you're not just meant to be listening to what I'm saying. It's meant to be a discussion. If you've got any suggestions for what could happen in the future of Doctor Who, just put your suggestions down in the comments below. And maybe you or I could write to the BBC. Maybe we could write to the BBC suggesting and make a suggestion about what we'd like to see in the in the future of the series.